All right, day 6 of the war in the Middle East. Prime Minister Mark Carney is leaving the possibility open for military intervention in the Middle East.
One can never categorically rule out participation. We will stand by our allies when it makes sense. There's a distinction between the offensive actions that were taken and are being taken by the United States and Israel, that were taken by them without consultation with Canada, with other allies.
So that is the full statement, those comments raising questions about what any potential Canadian role could be in this conflict. For a closer look is CTV News military expert, retired Major General David Fraser. When you heard those comments, what were your thoughts?
Well, good morning. And Anne-Marie, I just thought our Prime Minister was being very careful, with the United States, saying that we support you. We're not keeping anything closed or off the table, but at the same time, the word offensive operations suggests to me we won't be there for that. But, Canada has always been there for conflicts and wars afterwards to, provide security, to provide, reconstruction. So I think our Prime Minister is just making sure that reassures the United States we're there to support them, but we're not going to be jumping in just right away.
Yeah, let's flesh that out a little bit more. What would our involvement look like potentially in the Middle East, and is it likely that we are called on to help?
Well, first of all, the fact is there are no other nations helping out the United States right now. So Canada is a coalition partner, and it works with other coalitions. We wouldn't just jump into this right away. I mean, there's only been a couple of nations that have publicly stated they're supporting the United States, including Australia. So again, we got to think about that. Number two is, Kuzma is just around the corner. So the Prime Minister is not going to do anything to adversely affect that. But what we could do, reconstruction, medical services, we could provide a security force under a UN charter, because that's how we do operate. But we're a long, long way from that. And there's not much that Canada has to offer that the United States needs right this instance.
Let's talk about Canadians who are trying to get out. There are more than 2,000 who are requesting assistance from Ottawa to leave the Middle East region as this conflict widens and intensifies. How does that process work? They call the number or send in the email that we've been putting up on the screen. What do they hear back? And then what's the process for them?
Well, simplistically, if it was you and I, we would call Canadian consulate, the Canadian embassy over there, tell them where we are. And tell them that we want to get out. That's step number one. Number two is, the Canadian consulate, working with probably the Canadian Forces and Global Affairs Canada, would be working on plans about how do we get our people out and where are the congregation points, ports, air, land, and the forces will also be doing contingency planning right this instant. As soon as the thing started, that's what the forces does is, it has aircraft, that are capable of going into combat zones and whatnot. And normally you can even set up a shuttle system where you send the Canadian Forces in where the situation is hot. You go back to a port or a country like Oman, and then you can actually use civilian air carriers to transfer the people over. It's something Canada has done for decades. Mm-hmm. It's a well organized planning session back here in Ottawa. And, the big thing is just people have to tell the Canadian consulates and embassies where they are and they want to get out.
CTV News military expert, retired Major General David Fraser, always great to connect with you. Thanks.
Anne-Marie, thank you.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.